Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester.
And I'm John Rush.
And we're glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. In fact, we've got a great week lined up with all kind of exciting videos going later in the week, and we're going to tell you about it. But first, let's get our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center. You got some good videos, don't you?
Yeah, we've got a lot of video.
Oh, yeah. So we'll be watching those later and talk about them.
Oh, yeah.
But let's get our weather done. Brought to us by Haney Technical Center at Baldwin Road and Highway 77 right there on the outskirts of Lynn Haven city limits. High today is going to be 64 and low tonight 41. It's still cool. Water temperature remains at 64, but that's pretty steady. We like it right there, but it's going to get up. I think this week going to go up a little bit more. Moon phases. Every Monday we like to do our Monday moon phases. Now today is Monday, March the 25th, and we almost have a full moon. It's technically coming in Wednesday night. Will be the full moon of March. And with that, it'll still be cool during the week. The week-long forecast I've been looking at, it's still going to be cool Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But Thursday and Friday now, we're looking at it's going to be getting on up into the 70s and lows up in the 50s and 60s. So it's going to start warming up this weekend. So if we make it through this week, John, we'll be okay.
Not that much rain, really.
No, not this week. It don't look like. Finally, I mean, this has been a stormy month. What's that marine forecast?
You got a north wind around 10 to 11 knots, and I guess your sunset's at 6:57. Seas 2 to 4 feet, and light to moderate chop in the bay.
And you say the sunset at 6:57. That's almost 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock in March, the sun setting. All right, let's take a look at our tide chart for today. We're looking at neap tides, and we're not going to have much movement at all. It'll be technical low tide at 4:39 this morning, but a high tide at 7:18. You got about a 0.4 foot range today and tomorrow and Wednesday. But now for the weekend, we look ahead to the weekend, you're going to have some good tides coming back in. So that takes care of our tide chart. And that takes care of all our weather, so we'll take our first break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We'll get started on this segment with some pictures, and the first one's going to be a nice big bass. This is a great picture here sent to us by Emily McCormick. This is Chad Taylor. He was fishing with Houston Taylor last Thursday at Compass Lake. Folks, that is an 8.6 pound. Chad caught that big old bass and he released it. John,
where's Compass Lake located?
Compass Lake right north of us off Highway 77 and 20. We'll show you all these sand hills. There's just a bunch of them up there. You know, I was talking to the other day. I was talking to Chris Paxton, who is a regional fishery biologist with FWC. Chris, excellent fisherman himself, but knows a lot about fishing. We're talking about the state record. He thinks the state record may come from one of these sandhill ponds one day. He really does, and he knows that from a biological standpoint that, you know, some of these big ones are in some of these isolated ponds. So that's a nice picture there. Now let's go from bass fishing to cobia. The first recorded cobia now. This is Navarre. John, what do you think about this one?
That's an awesome cobia, and he caught it from a kayak too, which makes me happy.
This is caught from a kayak. This is angler Robert Long, and he caught it. This is 51 inches and 44.5 pounds right there.
That is a nice
That was last week. Now that's, you know, we always talk about the cobia always being caught. Now we still haven't had a pier caught one as of yet. Something might happen this weekend. We hadn't got word, but we'll get word soon and let you know. But we always talk about the first cobia usually and the first pompano always west of us.
Oh yeah.
And I think
that's what I've learned.
You learned that in a short time.
I learned that very quickly. I did not think that would be the case at all.
No, most people wouldn't, because just logically looking at it, you would have a.
You would think that, I mean, they're coming from Florida and coming up.
It's coming straight on up.
Straight up, and they'd hit us first, and then they'd go over to Pensacola, Gulf Shores, and on down the road. But it seems so far it has definitely been the case with the Kings. And now with the cobia,
yep,
because they caught one in Pensacola, and as well as Navarre now. And king mackerels were caught in Gulf Shores and in Pensacola all last week, and we still haven't gotten any here.
Well, it's all because of what I call the Panama bubble, and I can't get up on Google. We'll get up on Google in a minute, and what I call the Panama bubble starts down around actually around Apalachicola and just starts wrapping around to about on the western end. Well, we got it up there now. And I can show you about, if you look at the Panama Bubble starts there around St. Vincent Island, okay?
So, okay.
But see, now really the fish come along St. Vincent Island, and what they'll do, instead of coming down the Cape and all, they'll they'll keep on going, and they're going to keep on going up into there, and then there's a bubble. And what they do, they take a shortcut up there to Choctawhatchee. See Choctawhatchee Bay? That bubble starts down there at the end. Make a bubble from the point of Cape Sandblast. That bubble right there. That's right.
So they skip this, all right.
And that's why we're always cut off in the first ones. And later, I really think the water current goes up that way. The warm current goes on up into Choctawhatchee Bay. Okay.
Okay.
And then what happens is they'll go to that land first, and the kayakers and the pier fishermen will catch them right in that area. Now that's not official research. That's Winston Chester's theory of the Panama Bubble.
I think that's a good theory right there.
Well, I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people seem to have the same kind of feeling, some kind of current or some kind of poltergeist or some kind of something that keeps them away. But we'll be getting some rapidly, I know. Have you been out looking yourself?
Yeah, I have. I mean, last week on Tuesday morning. Well, first of all, last week on Monday morning, I got to have an awesome experience of a new kind of hunting, and we'll have that video up later in the week. But I got to go do an overnight hog hunt. We hunted from about 10 a.m. till really kind of 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. You got home about 5 o'clock. That's right. That's the one. And we showed you the picture of Whitney's big hog, but now John did a video on it, and we'll show it later on.
It's really, really neat. Right? I got some awesome shots.
Good.
It's going to be cool.
Good.
And you'll learn a lot from it too, from the video. I have it in there explaining everything.
Okay.
And so I did that, and then the next morning I got a good solid 2 hours of sleep, and I was over in Mexico Beach around 8:30, and I went out. I met a friend of mine who was in town from high school, and I actually found him waiting in the lagoon one day.
What's the chance of that? A boy coming from Savannah and another guy from Savannah, and y'all just recognize each other out fishing?
Yeah, I just heard my name yelled. He was like, "What's up?"
That's cool.
Yep, and so I went out with him out of Mexico Beach, and we went. We first hit the whole buoy line, and then we went to a couple of rigs and stuff that were about 4 miles out, and then we didn't get a single thing. And that, I was very, very surprised. I didn't see anything. I mean, the birds were out there. The birds were going crazy, but, you know, they were all just hanging out. They weren't doing anything. They weren't eating. There was nothing feeding. We didn't even get anything on the sabiki around the buoys. And it has to be that bubble thing that you were talking about, because I had heard reports from Gulf Shores and all those other beaches down the way that were catching and they were catching Spanish in the marina, the Panama City Marina. They called them off of there. So that was a sad day. It was a beautiful day. That was on.
So you went from really high, really high hunting, and then all of a sudden you went down like that.
Yeah.
Is that not the outdoor trip? I mean, you go up and have real successful, and you know that's part of it, though.
Yeah. So. But it was a great day, and we tried, the Spanish tree. We trolled that around, just trying to get something, and trolled the Clark spoon for a while, and I mean we didn't have anything, zero luck, but still early.
And the rest of the week, did you get to fishing more?
Yes, I did. I went out to the pier for a little while. I also went around Bay Point and waded, and that water out there is still cool and still muddy, especially once you get to the west part of that lagoon. I'm trying to think of
Grand Lagoon.
Yeah. That it's a lot of grass, a lot of seaweed kind of grass all up in there. But let's see, Port St. Joe and all that area over there, the water is really cleared up big time. It's gorgeous. It's back to being beautiful over there. I mean, I could see for miles. Just didn't see anything. One pufferfish. Did see a pufferfish.
Okay. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, folks. Glad you're with us this Monday morning. Get the week started off right on Panhandle Outdoors. And It's going to be an exciting week. All kind of good stuff coming up, and the Bay County school system, they're out for spring break. I know Gulf County's finished theirs, and others, we scattered and all.
We get to go fishing together.
We're going to try it. We're planning to go fishing. John's put me off, but finally we're going to try to get to go fishing.
I've put you off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And if my boat gets out of shop, I always get it checked up, and hopefully, if not, we just go kayak fishing or surf fishing. We won't do that anyway. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you visited a lot of, one thing you're getting to do other than just fishing and hunting, which is mainly what you're doing, but you're getting to visit some other places and all, and you ran by a really neat place the other day. So.
I did. I found a place, a good friend of mine, Mark Cowart, he told me to stop by this new shop and see what all they've got and everything, and it's called Cody's Trading Post, and the guy that owns it is Cody. He's a younger guy, and a lot of really neat stuff in there. I went in, and it's a used store. It's a trading post, but I went in, and first time I went in there, I found a $25 Stratic reel combo that I got from my roommate. And he was needing a new rod and reel. I said, all right, I'll go try that place out. So yeah, I made a short little video for him, and it just explains everything that he has for you. So let's take a look at that real quick.
Okay, let's roll that, Jeff.
Hey, I'm Cody with Cody's Trading Post. I'm off of 15th Street in Lisenby at 1332. I'm right underneath the Touch of Class sign. What I have here is fishing goods, I have military surplus, and I have firearms and odd and end stuff, antiques, basically anything I can make $1 off of. Definitely come check me out and I'll set you up with the deal. To emphasize on how much I enjoy fishing, this is my personal collection. All this stuff belongs to me here at Cody's Trading Post. I got some other stuff over here, but everything you see here is for sale. This is my personal collection, so definitely come check it out when you can. I've lived here my entire life, and there's one place that I really cherish and I really love out of all the other places here in the Panhandle, really Bay County, and so on and so forth, that I love to fish at more than any others. And that's there at the State Park, there at Deepwater Point. Deepwater Point is probably one of the best places to go out to and fish, especially if you love doing Spanish fishing. You can even do some pompano and so on and so forth out there. The reason I love going out there is not necessarily just to catch fish, not just to go out there and get a suntan and so on and so forth. It's really, you can take a couple buddies out there, really enjoy yourself while you're out there, whether you're catching something or not, and just have a great time. But of course, I think you'll end up catching something out there if you go during the right time of day. I have military surplus. That's something I focus on a lot more than my fishing supplies, of course. My military surplus, I have just basically anything you can think of as far as Vietnam era stuff. I get backpacks here and there. I'll have army boots. I have woodland camo, ACU stuff. Aside from military surplus and fishing goods, of course, my main business is firearms. I have firearms that range anywhere from Tauruses, Ruger, Browning, Colt, most of your known name brands. I have 9mm, I have 40 calibers, 45s. If I don't have it here, though, you tell me what you're looking for, I have no problem with, trying to find it for you, of course. And as everybody knows, with the economy and the way things are kind of going on in today's world, it's a lot harder to find things cheaper prices, but definitely give me a shot and I will do my best to find stuff for you cheap. As far as ammunition is concerned, I know I'm one of the only places in town that has ammunition. So I have 223, I have 7.62x39, and I also have 308. And of course I got 38 special and some of your other smaller calibers like 9mm and some of your 40s. I even have 45s and so on and so forth. But I definitely want to be able to point out the fact that, I do have a little, I'm not mainly a gun shop. I do have a smaller selection of rifles and handguns, but like I said, I do a lot of orders. But I have hunting rifles, I have, anything from 22 planking guns, I have, 22 handguns. So if you're looking for anything between just taking it out in the backyard, of course you can't do that. But if you take it out in your backyard, something like that, or if you want to go hunting with it, I carry a wide range of firearms. I'd like to show off my prized possession firearm that I have. I just got this in a couple weeks. This is my personal baby right here now. What I have here is an LAR 50 BMG sniper rifle. It's a single shot. I'd like to show you a couple little features off of it, of course. It's a little heavy, 41 pounds heavy. What happens here, being a single shot, doesn't actually go inside here on the side, and this is a little heavy to hold. Doesn't go here. Take off this bolt, pull that out, goes inside the bottom there, 50 caliber slide this back on. And you're ready to rock and roll as far as that's concerned. The scope on this right here, this is a daytime scope. It is battery operated. This is a 25 by 75 powered scope. Something like this cost $4,000 for the entire sniper rifle. The bipod comes with it. You have the scope. You got your little pad here. But this gun has been fired. It is used, but a 50 caliber sniper rifle can't be all that much used because it's not something you go out and plink with much. So I think the gentleman that owned this previously said only about 7 or 8 shots were actually fired out of this. And of course, if you've ever fired a sniper rifle, 50 caliber sniper rifle, you know why he's only shot a few.
All right, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Just a great guy.
Okay.
Great atmosphere. A lot of actually, while I was in there filming, there were a lot of people moving in and out. Met a guy that made cobia jigs and a rod maker, and I took some of my stuff in there to him for him to like look at. I kind of was curious about the prices, and they wanted to buy my 704Z and my. I have a little 710 greenie that they were looking at.
Okay.
People were trying to buy my stuff.
You want to tell them you saw it on Panhandle Outdoors?
Yes,
okay.
And if you go in there and talk to him, just let him know that you saw his store on our show, and
okay,
he can definitely help you out and help you find whatever you want. I've got him looking for a new rod for me right now, actually.
All right, now let's take a look at our fishing game times per day, brought to us by Mark Cowart of Edgewater Beach Realty, number 832-6000. And give Mark a call, and Mark sure will help you out. Any kind of property between Destin and all the way down there to St. George Island. Okay? Yep. What are our times today?
And you want to take a good lunch break today from 11:22 a.m. to 1:22 p.m. and then also from 11:46 p.m. to 1:46 p.m.
All right, that is good, and we talk about that a lot. But that is the ideal time for a good lunch break right there.
That is an awesome time for a good lunch.
Well, all kind of things coming up this week, and all. Captain Ken Paramore will be on the show Wednesday, and then
I caught him doing his job there.
Okay, you ran into him out in the woods.
Very randomly, we were out in the middle of nowhere around Tyndall, wading through the lagoon, and he just shows up in his truck.
Did he want to check your license?
No, he didn't.
I
think he trusted me with that. But it was neat. It was neat seeing him out there and being able to talk to him for a little bit.
I know those guys, he and Stan and all those guys that have to work office so much. I know they love getting out of the office and getting into the their roots there.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
How they were excited to take a week off or so. I met a guy named Bruce who worked with Captain Ken, and
good.
And they're getting excited for the pompano. And you're talking about how they were ready for the pompano to come in.
Yeah, as soon as they bust through that Panama bubble, we're going to be all happy. Okay. All right, look, talking about FWC now, they recently started this trophy bass catch, and this is something I'm fascinated with. It's just a great idea, and we're going to talk more about it. I just want to make sure you understand. The beginning, it started now. It's going to go through April this year, but it's a free. It's all free, and if you can actually get in there, 3 clubs. The Lunker Club starts at 8 to 9 pounds. The Lunker Club. The Trophy Club goes from 10 to 13 pounds, and anything over 13 pounds is Hall of Fame Club. And then they'll register for a drawing for a free bass boat. And it's all free. And you can get it's really a neat idea. We're going to have maybe Chris Paxton come on as the fish biologist and talk about this. And the first one actually was caught down at Rodman Reservoir down there in South Central Florida. But Chris thinks in fact, I will tell you this. They were doing some shocking the other day, checking the fish, and legal shocking and checking the fish. And they actually shocked a 14.2 pound bass in our viewing area. Now, he asked me not to say exactly where it was, but I'm gonna be there next weekend. But not really. But it's there's some big bass up here. So, all right.
Yep. All right. So I have a question for you. I was out on the pier, and I was looking for the pompano coming through, and I was looking for cobia.
Okay.
And there were people. I mean, you've got people all the way down it. So I want to know, where's the best place to hang out? Is it at the farthest away edge of the second sandbar? Is it right smack in the middle of the second sandbar? Do you want to be at the beginning of the second sandbar? Do you want to be on the first sandbar? Where are they coming from? Where, like, are they going to be coming straight down the beach on the top of the sandbar? Or are they going to come in from deep and they're going to cross over that sandbar, and that's where you're going to see them?
Very good question. Let's take the pompano first. The pompano will be coming in that deep water, in that trough, okay?
In between.
And they'll stay in that deep water, and then a lot of times you'll see they'll flash up into the shallow water on the bar, and that's when they're chasing that food. And you'll just see a flash sometimes, then they're going to come back down. And they're going to sort of hang around those deep pockets, but they're going to flash up for that bait fish and all. So when I go surf fishing, I like to have a rod between the first and second sandbar, then one on the edge of the first sandbar. And I'll show you this week when you come down and surf fish with me. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now on the cobia, the pompano fishermen, they're in on the shallow end. Those cobia guys out deeper. They'll of course they'll be looking and they'll say, when they see one, they'll say first cast. But they're looking on past the second sandbar. They'll be coming up. But now I have seen cobia. Some of the first cobia I saw when I was down here way back, they were actually in like 3 feet of water. It was amazing. We thought it was a shark at first.
Well, actually, whenever I was out there on Thursday for about 4 or 5 hours, and I was in the shallows looking for flounder. I was actually trying to catch flounder, and something huge came swimming by, and it was way too skinny to be a cobia or a shark, and it wasn't moving fast enough for a king, so we decided it was probably a barracuda.
Barracuda, probably.
But, I mean, that gave us all a little, our hearts started racing for a quick second there. We all got excited there.
Well, I'm glad you're hanging around the pier like that, and it's going to, I keep saying this, but we're this close, it's going to bust loose maybe this week or next week for sure. It's going to start busting loose and all.
Met Bobby Graham, by the way.
Well, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, awesome guy. Ready to fish with him.
Great. Well, we've run out of time again, John.
Yeah, I know.
All right, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. And we'll see you tomorrow, too, folks. And thank y'all so much for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We do appreciate it. And sometimes you do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.